Hi, okay, so we've organised the shelves a couple nights ago this week. Felt a bit manic, and now I've been inspired by Gavin and JD Ray Reads to do a bit of a shelf audit and show you guys which of my shelves are in the green, meaning I've read over 50% of them, and which ones are in the red, meaning under 50%. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you my unread books as well. So let's get into it. Shelf 1.1 is in the red, as I have only read 14.8% of the books on this shelf. Let's take a look. Garden Spells and the Girl Who Chased the Moon, Little Women, Ghosts and Good Material, The Spanish Love Deception and all of her other books that I own, The Traveling Cat Chronicles, The Bear and the Nightingale trilogy, all of Red Queen except for the first one, and then Realmbreaker, that whole series. The Push, The Beautiful Cassandra. That brings me to 21 books to read, which is a lot. Then the next shelf is also in the red with 37.4% books read. So let's take a look. The whole Cruel Prince trilogy, along with The King of Elfheim, The Modern Fairy Tales and Book of Night, First Time Caller, all of these Disney Twisted Tale books, there's a lot, Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights. That brings me to 18 books to read. Then shelf 1.3 is in the green, finally, with 60.53% read. So I still need to read Once Upon a Wardrobe, A Dog's Perfect Christmas, Mirror Mirror and Let It Go, 1,000 Heartbeats, and then The Betrayed and the Betrothed duology, Beautiful Little Fools, most of The School of Good and Evil and The Crimson Moth, Counterfeit. That brings me to 15 books to read. Next, this shelf is also in the green, which is great, with 100% read. This is my Cassandra Clare shelf, so I've read all of her books, so I don't need to read any of them. Next shelf is in the red once again, with 31.25% read. So let's look at the books I still need to read. Lake's Edge, The Charm Offensive, all of the Artemis Fowl books, Lace. I've owned this for such a long time. And that brings me to 11 books to read. Next, shelf 2.1 is in the green with 62.96% read. So let's take a look at what I still need to read. A Farewell to Arms, Deep End, Book Lovers, Happy Place and Funny Story, both by Emily Henry, The League of Gentlemen Witches, Miss Austen and Godmersham Park. That brings me to 9 books to read. Then shelf 2.2 is once again in the red with 42.11% books read. Let's take a look at which books I still need to read. Desperate in Dubai, The Nightingale, The Great Alone and Firefly Lane, all by Kristen Hanna. Home, The Descent, Evolution of Fear, Reconciliation for the Dead and Absolution, In Hot Water, The Conditions of Will, and Never. So that brings me to 12 books to read on this shelf. The next book is in the green with 72.22% books read, which is pretty close to being finished. Let's take a look. I still need to read Perfect on Paper, How to Stop Time, Kind of a Big Deal. Only 3 books to read on that shelf. Okay. Next, shelf 2.4 is in the green with 72.73% red. That's another pretty good one. Let's see. Okay, Neverwhere, American Gods, and Anansi Boys, all by Neil Gaiman. I've read all his other books. City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert, Jane in Love, Belladonna and Foxglove. So 7 books to read on that shelf. Next up, we have another shelf in the red, shelf 2.5, with 17.65% red. Ooh, that's pretty bad. That's real bad. Okay. House of Salt and Sorrows and Heart of Roots and Ruin, Small Favors, The Christmas Bookshop, The Book of Hidden Wonders, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, Stone Maidens, The Christie Affair, Paris Never Leaves You, the entire Reckless series, all of them. That brings me to 13 books to read on that shelf. Next, shelf 3.1 is in the green with 52.17% red. That's pretty good. So over halfway with that one, but just barely. Clara and the Sun. All of the Pages and Co books. Carrie Soto is Back. The Jane Austen Society. Castle in the Air and House of Many Ways. The Henna Artist. So 11 books to read on that shelf. Next shelf is in the green again with 76.47% books read. So let's see what I still need to read. The Stationery Shop of Tehran, Before Your Memory Fades, and Before We Say Goodbye. I have really been enjoying that series. Carrie, Sex and Vanity. So 5 books to read on that shelf. That's not too bad. Next, shelf 3.3 is in the red again with 43.75% red. That's pretty close to 50, so not too bad. Grave Mercy, Delicate Dream Department Store, Reflection, The Dragon's Promise and 6 Crimson Cranes. I think, yeah, that's the right order. When You Get the Chance and The Getaway List. So 7 books to read on that shelf. Next, shelf 3.4 is in the green with 76.47% red. So let's see what I still need to read. Oh, Sarah J. Maas. Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, Kingdom of Ash, Crescent City, so House of Earth and Blood, House of Sky and Breath, and House of Flame and Shadow. So 7 books on Sarah J. Maas still to read. Next up, shelf 3.5 is in the green with 76% red. So let's see what I have left to read. Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear, The Nancys, The Pearl Thief, Blue Sisters, Mine, and Heartbreak House Share. So 6 books are left to read on that shelf. Next, shelf 4.1 is in the green, also 100% red. I do believe this is my Harry Potter shelf, so we're not going to spend too much time looking at that one. 0 books to read. Then shelf 4.2, we've got 75% red, so that's again another one that's really close to 100. So the Del Toro Quest books, Intermezzo, The 7 Skins of Esther Wilding. So 7 books to read because Del Toro Quest is like a bind up of 5 books. Shelf 4.3 with 52.94% red. Okay, let's see. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. This is a massive book. Oh my goodness. The Telltale Heart, Heart of Iron and Soul of Stars, The Bewitching Hour, Among the Beasts and Briars, The Baby Dragon Cafe, Accomplished. So 8 books to read on that shelf. Next up, another red shelf. Oh dear, this one is only 18.52% red. Uh-oh. Let's see. Speak Memory, all of the Sarki books, Our Missing Hearts, The Time Traveler's Wife, Hamnet, The Road Trip and the No-Show, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. So 22 books to read on that shelf. Okay, that's a lot. Next, another green shelf for 4.5 with 70.59% red. Let's see what I still have to read on this shelf. So, The Jam Queens and the Cake Maker's Wish, Family for Beginners, The Witch is Back, The Starless Sea. So that brings me to 5 books to read. Then shelf 5.1. This is the last full shelf set. So 18.52% red. Uh-oh. Quite a lot of books I still need to read on that one. A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, Gallant, Frankenstein, The Honey Witch, Who Could It Be at This Hour, all the Trompi books. These are all like omnibus collections, so there are 3 in one. The X-Talk, The Sentinels of the Galaxy trilogy, and Dracula. House of Hollow, and that brings me to 28 books to read. Oh dear. Next, we've got shelf 5.2 with 33.33% red. So a third. I've read a third of the books on that shelf. Okay. The Secret History, The Assassin Thief, The Lord of the Rings, Love in the Time of Serial Killers, There's No Such Thing as an Easy Job, Silverborn. That brings us to 9 books to read on this shelf. Next, shelf 5.3 is also in the red with 26.67% red. Uh-oh. Let's see. Around the World in 80 Days. Villains, The Wickedest of Them All box set. Wendy. The Lost Ryu. The Dictionary of Lost Words. The Jane Austen Remedy. Zodiac. The Book Thief, and that brings me to 10 books to read on that shelf. Next, shelf 5.4 is green with 58.7% red. I think this is my non-fiction shelf, which is great. Investing with She's on the Money, How to Be a Heroine, A Field Guide to Lucid Dreaming, Effortless, Wicca, A Modern Practitioner's Guide, A Guide to the Creatures in Your Neighborhood, Eccentric Glamour, Homework, More Anthology, Into the Wetlands, Bedtime Story, 4,000 Weeks, Ultra Learning, The Only Study Guide You'll Ever Need, Dear Dolly, Beyond the Wand, Normal Women, I have started that one, Go Gently by Bonnie Wright, and that brings me to 18 books to read. These are some of my overall stats. And there you have it. Those are all of the books I still need to read that are on my bookshelves. If you have any ideas of where I can start with any of these, if there are books that you think I should prioritize that you've read and loved, please let me know down below. And yeah, I hope you had a great time watching this video. I hope it turned out okay. Thank you so much for watching. If you did watch up to here, please leave a book emoji in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Keep reading, Inklings. Bye!